In 1928, the U.S. government raided the coastal town of Innsmouth, Massachusetts. The horrors discovered in this raid brought to light existential threats, not just to America, but to humanity itself. The network that rose to fight the darkness changed and evolved over time, rising and falling in ascendancy with those in power. Today, the group is known as Delta Green, a ragtag bunch of individuals loosely organized in cells, dedicated to stopping the rising darkness. Low on time, resources, and manpower, members of Delta Green must work in anonymity to protect society from the horrors that lurk beneath and the darkness that lurks above. Members of K-Cell is an actual play podcast about the lives of some of the heroes that rage against the dying of the light. The handler is played by Jeremy Kush. The players are his wife Tabitha and his brother Jonathan.
So, John, this is your first time playing Delta Green?
That is correct.
But you've played Call of Cthulhu before, right?
I have played Call of Cthulhu, but that was in 2006.
So you're a little on the rusty side, is what you're saying.
I did say words that would suggest that. So I've read through the manual for Delta Green, and I worked up a character. I don't know too much.
I was kind of watching you while you were making your character, because I happened to be on at the same time.
Real creepy, Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm real creepy.
He's his natural state. It's fine.
I'm a creep.
Mm-hmm.
Basic idea for how Delta Green is going to work mechanically is I'll ask you to do tests if you want to do certain things. And you got to roll your D100 and try to get less than your skill or your stat times 5. There might be bonuses or penalties depending on what's going on. If you roll equal to or less than, then you succeed. If you roll above it, it's a failure. Delta Green is an investigative game, so the investigation should never grind to a halt just because you fail to roll. That's not fun or interesting. If you succeed a roll, you're going to have a better understanding and be better prepared for whatever is going. So there are little check boxes next to your skills. Whenever you use a skill and fail, you'll give yourself a check mark. And then at the end of the session, that skill will go up by 1. We got Cindy Sharper and Esme Thatcher.
Oh, sorry. It's actually pronounced Cindy Sharper.
Cindy Sharper.
Cindy Sharper.
Cindy Sharper. That's what you're saying. Cindy Sharper.
No, I know what I'm saying. Who knows what you're saying? You tell me.
So, John, you're playing Cindy Sharper. So tell us a little bit about Cindy Sharper.
What's the time period?
Present day, present time.
Right. You said it was Cthulhu, but present time. So for whatever reason, I interpreted that as the 70s and 80s. Anyway, that doesn't really change too much. So Cindy Sharper, she is still relatively young. I put her in her like mid-30s. This story actually exists now that it's in present day, as opposed to me having to weirdly back into it. So she's been really interested in robotic ethics, trying to think of ways to train robots to make ethical decisions. So that's what she studied when she was getting her PhD. So she's a scientist. And then for a few years, she sort of worked at a Rhode Island School of Design in Providence, Rhode Island. And she would talk to people about, how it's important to think about your robots and whether or not they can make ethical decisions. So she'd do some minor consulting with self-driving cars and stuff. So at one point, she gets brought in to do some observational work on this robot that's going to be used for underground mining. And one of the things about it was going to be able to do a lot of mining itself without observation. She goes down into a mine somewhere in Connecticut, and it's going to be doing a test run. And at some point during that day, she blacks out. And when she wakes up, everyone around her has been dismembered by mining robot, she assumes, and the robot itself is gone. She gets questioned or saved or whatever by Delta Green. One thing that she doesn't mention to them is that this particular robot was actually wetware. It had some sort of organic brain that was being used to circumvent some of the problems the current self-driving types of technology have. She thinks, based on sort of what she can vaguely recollect and what she saw when she woke up, that maybe this brain machine hybrid came under some sort of evil influence. And that's what caused it to sort of go out of control and drill down and toward the center of the earth. So I'm not sure if she would have mentioned that necessarily to Delta Green. It was a pretty frightening experience. I'm guessing she probably didn't stay as a professor at RISD after that.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a career problem that you might not be able to walk away from unscathed. I'm sure there's definitely fallout. I could definitely see her losing her position. So what's she doing now?
So I thought at first that she would just be working for Delta Green, but you said that's not an option, right?
Delta Green is a conspiracy within the US government. You are both playing agents of Delta Green, but you lead normal lives, normal in quotation marks. Every now and again, as you're going to see, well, in fact, let's just go ahead and see it. You both wake up one morning with a voicemail message on your cell phones. The voicemail message simply says, "You're formally invited." And then it gives out a string of numbers that you interpret as the coordinates for a hotel in Asheville, as well as a time, 2 p.m. tomorrow. You know from previous experience that this is a reassignment. You need to be at that hotel by 2 tomorrow. I don't think either of you work for the government, correct?
No.
I'm going to say I work for a self-driving startup.
That means it's up to you to figure out how you're going to get from wherever you are to Asheville by 2 p.m. tomorrow. You got more than 24 hours to do it, which is actually a nice lead time. The phone number that it came from, you know that it's some encrypted source, a burner phone probably, so that it can't be traced back.
Well, I'm going to convince my boss to let me take one of the self-driving vehicles out to drive to Asheville to get some data on highway driving.
Where exactly is the startup located?
Where's Tabitha's character?
I don't think I build on a location. I'm gonna make it easy on myself and make it like Charlotte.
Charlotte wouldn't be a bad choice because there's a lot of tech startups in that area.
A dubious look, but okay.
Charlotte and Greensboro and that Tri-City area. There is.
I think Jeremy is right about that. But please continue looking at him however you're looking at him. I'll go ahead and just say that I'm going to say New Haven, Connecticut, just for the heck of it.
Jeremy, you are thinking of Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill.
Yeah, that area.
Googled it.
Right, so let's say that Cindy works in New Haven, and we got to get to Asheville.
That's quite a drive.
I mean, I could put it in. Yeah, it's a 12-hour drive. I could put my character in Pittsburgh. I mean, because I know that there are several self-driving companies there, and I know the city. Fine. It's a slightly shorter drive.
I mean, go with what you know.
Okay, but she works at Uber in Pittsburgh. So she tries to convince somebody to let her borrow a car.
I'd say that you can probably do that. Well, your charisma's just a 10. We'll go for it. No, you don't have good bureaucracy.
Oh, yeah. And like, my character is kind of weird because like she was nearly murdered by a self-driving vehicle, but like it's the only job she knows. So like she's like constantly terrified, but I'm gonna assume that she has no car, so like this is her only option.
You could fly and rent a car.
Sure. Can I like get reimbursed or whatever?
You might get reimbursed.
Right,
I'd also die.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that people join Delta Green isn't because it's a fun job or because you make a lot of money doing it. It's because you've kind of seen the cracks in reality and you want to protect something. For instance, you have a bond with your parents. You have a strong emotional bond with them, and you want to keep the
Gotcha.
Atmoses from taking over all the cars and killing your parents.
Gotcha. Well, let's just say I have a car. I'm just going to drive myself, but because I got all my hacking gear in the car.
Yeah. Plus, if you had a prototype self-driving car, I'm sure there's a lot of tracking info in that. And then your boss might be like, "Why were you driving all over Asheville?"
Probably a good idea. Probably. I was getting data, brah. Getting data.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about the shopping trip that you had with your mom?
My mom doesn't live in Pittsburgh.
No, she doesn't live in Pittsburgh.
Providence. From Rhode Island.
She lives in Rhode Island.
She's traveling all this way to come on a shopping trip with you, and you're just failing.
So how are you going to blow your mom off?
No, with my words.
With your words? Okay, let's hear those words.
Okay, so what's going on? Is my mom visiting?
You're role playing. You're playing a character.
It just so happened that you got this phone call, this message, and you're gonna have to leave to go to Asheville, but your mom is in town to visit you. What do you do?
I don't have to pick up the call, right?
You're gonna ghost your mom?
From Delta Green was a voicemail message, and you already have that info. Yeah, we can say your mom's calling you. You don't have to pick up her call. You can just
feel like
send her the voicemail.
Frequently blowing her mother off. She's 37. She's got a life. That is.
Well, does she? Because your only bond is with your parents.
Right, but not my mom specifically. Maybe I'm going to change that.
Parents.
Okay. So my mom calls. I pick up, and I say, "What? I have to do my mom too?"
Hey, Cindy Lulu. I just wanted to know where you wanted to go today.
It's not been my name in 20 years. But sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I've been looking forward to this trip. I'm flying in now. Gonna be landing in Pittsburgh before too much longer. So about to fly in here from Rhode Island.
Right? Did you get the direct flight?
I sure did. I'll be there by noon.
There's one though, Mom. Are you a real person? Are you an alien?
Will you help me with the Ticketmaster? So
that's not how you get tickets for airplanes, Mom. I've been trying to tell you that. When you buy tickets to Airplane the musical, it doesn't get you on a plane. But you keep doing it. I just can't take it anymore, Mom. Okay, fine. You're in you obviously got on a real plane this time, right? You're up in the air. And
I'm not in the air. I'm on the phone.
Is that what you're saying? You want me to come pick you up? Why are you calling me from the plane, Mom? There aren't any. You're not supposed to do that.
I'm in the plane's lobby.
Oh my god!
I'm in the lobby before the plane.
Jeremy, have you ever been on an airplane?
Mom, what's going? Okay, Mom, are you in a connecting airport? Are you halfway to Pittsburgh, but not actually up in a plane?
I'm still in Rhode Island. I'm about to get on the plane.
Right. Okay. Well,
you did not Google this.
I'm sorry, Mom, but I have a work trip that just came up, and I'm gonna have to go for the weekend. So can we? Why don't we do this? Why don't I come out there later?
Okay. Well, I'll see if
it's good that you called me before you got on the plane, because this just happened. I'm so sorry, Mom.
Okay, I understand. I know your work's really important to you. I'll see if the plane concierge will give me a refund. So
you have a concierge?
Oh, you know what, Mom? Let me see if I can pull up your. Oh, yeah, I see here. You know what? You did buy the insurance. Let me just go in and I'll just say that you're having a surgery. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna say you had a surgery. This is the no questions asked travel insurance policy. They're gonna
Now,
be
the nice
just fine with
TSA
that.
man already
Nope.
waved his wand at me. Is that a problem?
No, you just can turn right around. Well, you know what, Mom? They're in the Providence airport because it's international. You can go get some tax-free booze. So why don't you go do that and take that
There we
home to
go.
Daddy? You know,
All
he
right.
he really likes that that Del Mar 14 year, and you can't get that except at the airport. So why don't you go get him some Del Mar 14? That's the one he likes. And so see, you made some use out of your trip down to TF Green. So yeah, good
That's
job,
a
Mom.
wonderful idea, Cindy Lulu. I love these conversations that we have.
You're so good. It's so good to hear from you, Mom.
It's good to hear from you. I hope you have a good trip now. Take care, okay?
I will try. I will try, Mom. Bye bye.
All right.
Do you hang up or do I hang up? I always forget.
She already hung up. That's
Oh,
why she said
is that
click.
her saying that she already hung up?
She says click right before she hangs up the phone, so you
Oh,
know it.
okay. Oh, okay. I got it. Wow. So I was sweating bullets there. So I just wipe off my forehead and yeah, I'm oof. Now, but I feel accomplished now a little bit. And I think I probably, since I made my mom buy my father liquor, does that give me some bonuses?
It does. It gives you loads of brownie points.
What
Alright.
about a sister? Does it get me a sister?
Does it give you a sister? I mean, you're 37.
In 9 months, maybe?
You need to have that conversation with your mom.
Okay, so I'm on my way, right?
Yep, you can now make your preparations and head on your way. So, Esme, what are you doing now that you have this voicemail on your phone?
I'm going to back to Asheville, I guess.
Who's going to watch your cat?
I'm gonna text my neighbor. She usually watches our cat when we need a cat sitter. So I'm gonna text her and let her know that the key is where it always is on her keychain because I trust her. I say that in the text and let her know that. What did I name my cat?
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is no longer on the medications. Oscar will be back on Tuesday, so talk with him, I guess.
Who's going to cover your shift at the hospital?
My colleague, Hamzi Singh, is always for me because I cover for her. Look at me having covers.
There you go. See, got all nice sorts of bonds there. Okay, so what do you tell your husband?
I text him and say that I am taking a mental health weekend and going to Asheville to check out their therapeutic salt cave.
So you texted all of this to these people? Bye, husband. I'm leaving.
I prefer text. They know this.
All right, so we'll go ahead and get you on the road as well. So y'all are able to make it to Asheville perfectly fine. You make it to what's a good hotel for
My
this?
mom make it home fine? Does she make it home?
Yeah, but she was one bottle of liquor less.
How'd that happen?
She drank a bottle of liquor.
She
A
drank
whole bottle by herself.
on the way home.
She was in the Uber.
Yeah. All right.
She got that Uber.
Jesus. She needs to go to some.
I guess if I work at Uber, I could probably give her free rides. So maybe that's just her hobby now. Just rides around in Ubers drinking because she can.
She's so lonely.
Yeah.
Maybe both my parents do that. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm worried about it.
The hotel that y'all stay at
Are you Googling this time?
is the specific. It's actually not in Asheville proper. It's south of Asheville in a town called Hendersonville.
Really?
This is where mom and dad stayed. It's a skeety looking.
Is it the Best Western they stayed at?
Yeah, I think it's the Best Western.
If that's the Best Western, I shudder to see the worst one.
So yeah, it's the Best Western there in Hendersonville. It's this kind of. It might have been nice about 30 years ago, but it's kind of run down now. There's a Mexican restaurant. That's the best thing it has going for it, is the Mexican restaurant in the hotel lobby. The pavement's cracked. There's little bits of grass sticking out through the pavement. Did you both get hotel rooms here, or did you want to stay at a different place and then just meet up here tomorrow?
I'm going to say that Esme shares my horror of bedbugs. Having looked at the reviews of that Best Western, decided to stay well away from it and got a Airbnb somewhere.
I also was gonna go for an Airbnb. See where I'm gonna stay. I'm staying at Hope's Journey, which is near Hendersonville's famed wineries, apparently. That sounds like a good place for me.
How does this Best Western have 4 stars?
That's a very good question.
So around 2 the next day, you gather in a meeting room at the Best Western. Inside is a woman. She's got dark skin, well-groomed hair, and a business suit. This is your handler. You've met her a few times before, but you only know her by Karen.
So the name is Karen?
Karen with a K.
Okay. For whatever weird reason, every time I heard you guys saying it kept cutting out. So I was like, are you guys self-censoring or something? Redacted. Okay, please continue.
You are part of KSL, so you can have names that you know each other by rather than your real names to be more professional. It should be a name that doesn't sound weird to hear each other say. As a member of KSL, you're going to have a name that begins with K.
Well, I think I'm going to be Karen.
Me
There's
too.
already a Karen.
Yeah,
I'll be Karen.
I'll be Karen too. I'm going to be Karen COO.
So you're going to introduce yourself as Karen 2, Agent Karen 2.
Karen 2, TOO.
I'm Karen with 2 N's.
Karen,
yeah, so
Karen, and Karen.
As opposed to Karen. No, I'll actually be Christopher.
Christopher. So we got Agent Christopher.
Christopher.
Chrissy. Agent Chrissy.
Oh, that's what my mom calls me.
No.
Christopher Mother.
Your mom Why does your mother know your Delta Green code name?
Doesn't, but if she did, she would call me Chrissy.
Chrissy Lulu.
Well, don't bring that up.
Esme, do you have a code name you want to be known as?
I already said I'm Karen with 2 N's. Fine, I'll be. I can't think of any other K name.
Kim Kardashian.
I'll be Kim, sure.
So we got Agent Kim and Agent Christopher.
Agent Karen says, Agent Kim, Agent Christopher, thank you for coming out on such short notice. We appreciate your dedication to the cause. She passes a small envelope to each of you that has slightly less cash in it than it took for you to travel here. She says, a former agent unfortunately recently passed. His name was Clyde Boffman. His family has been notified, and we expect them to arrive within 48 hours. Clyde was a member of the group for decades. We need you to proceed to his apartment and go through his possessions and ensure there is no evidence for his heirs to find.
If you find any signs that Boffman violated Delta Green security, make sure to report them. We'll meet in this same conference room 48 hours from now. Please have a report on what you find. Make sure to involve no one else in this operation. As always, if you see any sign or threat of the unnatural, make sure to take care of it and make sure it doesn't happen again. We don't think there's anything untoward happening in his apartment. We just need to make sure that there's no evidence of our activities.
If we do find evidence of the activities, bring it to you or bury it under 6 feet of hot soil, or what do we do?
If you find anything, please collect it and bring it back when you make your report. She passes you a number on a little index card. She says, you can reach me at this number. I'm here to provide you any logistical support, but it's your responsibility to take care of this. She also has a report that she hands you guys in the manila envelope.
Summary of a report on Clyde Boffman. Date of birth, March 28, 1945. Family, wife, Marlene. August 20th, 1948 to November 2nd, 2002. Daughter, Sharon. September 12th, 1967. Son, Michael. July 28th, 1974. Occupation, Bureau of Internal Revenue, later IRS, June 11th, 1965 to September 1st, 1999. Retired as Assistant Deputy Commissioner for Operational Support. Affiliation, active with Group from 1967 to 1970, taking part in 11 operations, details unavailable. Numerous consultations with a specialty in taxation and property confiscations. No current association with Group. Attached to the file is a key.
He's been out of the game for a while.
Yes, he has been out of the game for a while.
If I find like any computer evidence or whatever, my orders are to collect it and bring it back, not destroy it.
Yeah, that's what your orders are. Just the Boffman's apartment, check through his things, and make sure that there's no evidence left behind for his heirs to find when they're going through the things.
What if they get back early?
And you'll have to deal with that, won't you?
Deal with how? I make like a little finger gun. I'm like, is this what you're talking about?
Yes, preferably not killing them.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. No,
All right,
you shouldn't be letting it get to that point.
will do.
No promises.
I turn to Esme and I shrug. I'm like, gotta find out, right?
You gotta find out if it's okay to kill people. No, you do not have a license to kill.
Well, I guess, Esme, you're a physician, right? Do we know each other?
No, not personally.
Hi, my name's Cindy. I'm gonna go by Christopher. Did you laugh in my face just now? That's my real name.
Yes, I did. Oh, you have a funny name. Anyways, we've probably worked together on previous assignments, maybe?
Yeah, this isn't your first assignment together.
How's Gilgarash? How's Gilgarash?
Do about my cat?
Gilgarash, right? That's your cat, right?
Way to yes and that, Tabitha.
I don't know of any My cat Gilgamesh.
Oh, I knew it was something like that. I just, cats are always having rashes. Da-da-da.
You're doing cats wrong.
That's how internet
They shouldn't have cats.
I don't have any cats. I mean, God, no one would trust me with cats. They really trust me with computers. But yeah, that's what all the internet cats tell me.
Internet cats tell you they have rations?
Yeah, ain't none of us clean in this world, right?
We're moving right along, sailing right past the part where you explain that. I have his address.
Yes, you have the address to his apartment.
Eaten breakfast yet?
It's 2 p.m., so you tell me.
Let's say I ate breakfast. Probably lunch. I'll say I ate lunch beforehand.
That's a good thing to eat.
So we head to his place, I guess, in separate vehicles.
Boffman's apartment, it's kind of a inconspicuous apartment building in kind of a rundown neighborhood. A jarring example of early 1960s design. It's like blocky and drab. It doesn't have like a gatehouse or anything. There's a parking lot in front of it with a handful of cars parked there. If there's an office for this apartment complex, it looks like it's off-site. It looks like it's just a bunch of apartments.
I walk up to the apartment that's Hoffman's.
And y'all traveled separately, or you traveled together?
Probably separately.
I would think so.
So you both pull up and you go to Boffman's apartment. It's up on the third floor. We'll say it's apartment 3C. The key that you have there unlocks the door. Inside of the relatively small apartment, it's Spartan and kind of grim. There's a patina of cigarette smoke along the walls, but other than that, it doesn't really feel like someone lived there. There's very little in the way of furniture. There is a well-worn couch here in the living room that the door opens up to, with a very small television that sits on the floor right in front of it. There's a small table next to the couch that has a stack of mostly completed crossword puzzle books and some issues of Sports Illustrated and Reader's Digest, and a box of powdered sugar donuts. There's a kitchen off to the left, a short hallway with 2 bedrooms attached to it, and a bathroom.
We should probably look for the obvious things first, but I'm sure there are hidden compartments.
No, that's probably right. While Esme is talking, I pull out my phone to see if there's any Wi-Fi or cell signals coming from anywhere in the room.
Like, you're able to get cell reception. There doesn't seem to be any sort of electronic security here, if that's what you're looking for.
Right.
You have the equipment that you need and the know-how to realize that you don't have to worry about any sort of networks or security cameras or anything here in the apartment. And you didn't really see any security cameras outside of this apartment either. So
I want to go turn the TV on to see what the last channel was.
it looks like he has just a basic cable on Fox News.
Figures. But I turn it off. I turned to Esme, so I guess want to just split up rooms, or we can just kind of walk around together? What do you want to do?
We should split up. Less time.
I mean, we only got 48 hours. Better get in, I suppose.
So there's this room that you can look through. There's the kitchen off to the left. And then there's a hallway where it looks like there's 2 bedrooms and a bathroom.
I'll go over to the kitchen.
In the kitchen, it's mostly bare. There's a smattering of cans, pans, and boxes. On the refrigerator, there is a crudely drawn picture of a human figure that says Grandpa on it and signed with Cassie. And there's 2 gold stars on it, and that's hanging on the fridge. It looks like this guy's been pretty much just eating out of cans.
So judgmental.
There's a little bit of a layer of dust on the stove and on the pans themselves. Doesn't look like he's cooked very much recently. You spend a few minutes looking through the cabinets, and you don't find any boxes of files squirreled away or anything like that. What are you looking through, Esme? Well, Cindy's looking through all of this.
I think I'm going to go into the first bedroom.
The first bedroom that you come to is on the left side of the hallway, and it seems to be being used as an office and for storage. There's a desk and a bunch of filing cabinets.
Start going through the desk.
There is a lot of information here in this room. It looks like this man was very thorough in documenting everything that happened in his life, and he held on to these records. It's gonna take a long time for you to sift through all this information to make sure that you're not missing anything.
And we can just take all of it.
So there's like 5 filing cabinets. They probably weigh about 500 pounds each.
There's 2 of us and we have 48 hours.
So you're just gonna steal the... I'm pretty sure that the heirs would realize that the filing cabinets were missing if you just took the whole things.
Just take the papers. We'll take all of the contents of the filing cabinet.
We could always get some fake paper, put that in there. They won't know the difference.
Blank paper.
just fill these filing cabinets with blank, empty paper.
Everybody thinks their parents are going crazy, and they'll just have some extra indication of it.
Yep.
Or they'll think he was a super spy, though, and we don't want to bring any additional investigation. They're like, ooh, invisible ink or something, you know. You know how people are.
Can go ahead and do that. Let them have a little science experiment. It'll be fun.
They obviously got kids. Yeah. I call from the kitchen. Yeah, I'm not finding a whole lot in here. What you got in there?
Office. There seems to be just a lot here. I to go through it, but that's going to take a long while.
You've got plenty enough accounting, Esme. You're used to going through files as part of your job in the hospital. You have a good feeling that with your knowledge, having that is going to cut the time in half. It would probably take only about 3 hours if you both went through it.
Okay.
It would just be to find the stuff that we got to get that's related to Delta Green or whatnot. Right?
To see if there is any.
Yeah, to systematically go through it and make sure that there's nothing that could be seen as evidence of the conspiracy, it would take both of you about 3 hours.
I'm guessing I'm like sort of standing in the doorway. We're chatting about that. So we're like, okay, well, it'll take us about 3 hours, clear this room. So, well, why don't we see what we got in store for us in this other bedroom? I'm going to walk down toward the other bedroom door.
The bedroom at the end of the hall has a queen-size bed in it with a dresser. On top of that, you see photographs of an old man with his wife. You also see high school graduation pictures of 2 kids and a few photos of what you assume to be Cassie. Next to that is a ceramic paperweight of a child's handprint with the name Cassie, age 4, crudely painted on it. You can go through the dresser fairly quickly and see that it's just got a bunch of musty, cigarette-smelling clothes.
I'm going to look under the bed and under the mattress.
You don't find anything worth talking about underneath there. You find a box full of porno mags.
Ew.
Ooh, nice. Hot diggity. I take a picture for my records.
They are definitely vintage.
I pull up my phone. You said I can get Signal, right? And I see how much these are going for on eBay.
You could probably get a good $800 for the box of them.
All right, I sort of file that away as a mental note and push the box back into that. I want to take a closer look at that handprint you mentioned.
Are they really worth that much if they've been used?
Vintage. There's a niche market for that.
Very niche. Ugh.
What do you want to know about that handprint?
I want to get a sense of how old it is because it smell as much like cigarettes as the other stuff.
It's clearly newer. It's probably a couple of years old.
And how many fingers are on the hand?
All 8. No, all 5.
All 8. That's what I thought.
Did you just forget how many fingers?
It's got the normal amount of 5 fingers.
Oh, there's 6 digits?
I knew you were going to quibble that. I fucking knew you were going to say that.
So it is is it a human handprint? Is that what you were trying to say, Jeremy?
It is a handprint of a human child, age 4.
Human child. And which, is it left or right? Or are they ambidextrous?
You're not sure.
I'm not sure. I'm a computer scientist. I got a PhD. I know. I could tell, I'm sure.
It looks like a left hand, which it makes you assume that it must have been from a right hand because it's the handprint.
Oh, that's a good point. How deep is it actually?
Okay, so we're gonna move on.
I feel like he's been talking so much about Cindy. It's got to be there's something here. Could be something here. Tabitha, Esme sticks her head and says, "How are you doing?" I'm like, I'm just holding this handprint. I'm like, this has got to be important.
Right. So I'm going to invoke your disorder amnesia, and you have forgotten about the handprint.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
Did I
That's
forget
not
about
how
it while I was
disorders-
holding it? Did
that
I
is
drop it on
not
the ground
how
and break it?
disorders work in this game. No, you didn't.
Right.
Esme, what are you doing while Cindy is manically obsessing over this child's handprint?
I'm going to investigate the bathroom. I'm going to put on the gloves that I carry with me everywhere I go, and then check out the bathroom.
Inside the bathroom, you see that it's in a disturbed state. The towel rack is broken, the shower door is cracked, and there's a few fragments of a broken ceramic toothbrush holder swept into a corner. You smell a faint trace of a corpse.
It's interesting. Investigate the cabinet.
Inside the cabinets, you see a bunch of heart medication as well as a bunch of assorted toiletries and medicines.
Like, what kind of heart medications are we talking about?
Like things that you would take for high blood pressure and cholesterol.
Are there any in the walls or floor or ceiling?
You spend probably about 15 minutes poking around in here and don't find any secret compartments.
All right. Have we read the coroner's report?
No, you weren't given a coroner's report.
Were we told how he died?
Nope.
We didn't ask.
All right.
Nope.
I'm going to text our handler.
He had a heart attack, one that kills you.
Jeremy, please.
I started typing in a message to our handler asking if he was polydactyl, and then I decided to delete it. Their message, they say they died here in the apartment.
Yes, he died in the apartment.
Was it in the bathroom?
It was in the bathroom. You solved
With
the death.
crowbar.
That's where it probably would have happened.
I've left the bedroom. We've looked at both bedrooms, the kitchen, and the bathroom. Is there anything else in the apartment?
We snoop around the living room thoroughly?
Hanging next to the door, you see a ring of keys.
Oh, I want to investigate the keys to see if one's like a storage unit.
Get the keys. There's not very many keys on there, and they all actually have labels on them. One says home, one says truck, and one says cabin.
Ooh, cabin. Where's his cabin? I'm texting our handler asking where his cabin is.
She responds, he had a cabin. You need to figure out where that is then.
I'm going to step outside and see if I see a truck nearby.
Yeah, there's an old F-150 parked outside.
I grab the keys and I tell Esme I'm going to go check out his truck and I'll be back.
All right, I'm going to look for information about the cabin in the office, because that seems like that would be where any information on that would be. Start going through the office.
You start going through the office. Cindy, you're able to get to the truck and get into the truck. It's got a impressively high mileage on it. Seems like he's kept this thing running for a while. What in particular are you looking for?
Before I get in, I want to take a quick look at the tires to see if they look like they're drivable.
They look drivable.
I'm going to look in the back seat first. Does it have a cab with 2 rows of seats or just one?
Just the one.
I'll get in the driver's side seat. First, I'm going to look around.
It's an F-150. There's going to be a small space behind the seat for just general storage.
Okay.
I don't know if Jeremy knew that and is hiding something back there or not.
I didn't know. I just figured this guy would have a
I
truck.
promise you, Jeremy
so-
had no idea what a truck was, what trucks there are, and that's just the one they advertise on television the most. Am I right, Jeremy?
That's correct. Yeah, I figured this guy would have a truck. So, hey, let's give him a truck.
The only ones that exist are F-150s, so.
He watches Fox News
Oh,
as the F-150. So the F in F-150 stands for Fox News.
Is this the special Fox News edition? Does it have like a Bobo Bill O'Reilly like horn?
No, surprisingly, it has like anime waifu decals on the sides of it.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
It's Saber from Fate Stay Night. He's a Saber stan.
Great.
I mean, what the hell?
Well, you said it has pretty high mileage, right?
It has high mileage.
I'm going to plug that number into my cipher solver to see if it has a secret Bible code meaning. Does it?
You are not able to find any information out of this truck. This man has a truck. That is the information that you have. So he has a
There's
truck
nothing in the
and he
bed
drives
or
around. There's a shovel in the back.
That seems important in Jeremy.
That's it?
There's a shovel in the back. There is jumper cables and tools to use to work on the car or on the truck behind the seat. Nothing out of the ordinary. He doesn't like have a pistol hidden in there or anything like that.
I'm gonna
Well, that
check
is out of
eBay.
the ordinary.
I'm gonna check eBay to see
Okay.
how much a truck like this goes for. Then I'm gonna head back inside.
$3 cash.
If it's full of porno mags.
This truck is probably worth more as scrap just because of how old and how much mileage it has. It's like $3,000 maybe. So if you get the dealer drunk first.
I'm gonna head inside and help Esme.
You're able to sort through Boffman's files, and you don't find anything that has to do with Delta Green's files. You do find papers for Boffman's cabin, which is located outside of Decatur, Tennessee.
Okay.
off of Chickamauga Lake. It's about 3.5 hours driving. And it's about 6:30 right now. Probably closer to 7. Yeah, it's probably closer to 7. Because it took y'all 3 hours to sort through all the files.
I think through a drive-through, get some dinner, head over to this cabin. Don't find anything else.
No, you don't find anything. You know that this guy has this cabin. You are reasonably certain, considering the state of his affairs, that he doesn't own any other property anywhere or a undisclosed storage unit or anything like that. You're pretty sure that he has this cabin. It could be that's where he's keeping any records that he might have. He doesn't have any records here for sure.
I'm gonna head over there.
So you're gonna go there tonight?
Well, let's see. When did we drive in? It took me all day previous day.
Yes, you're still fairly fresh. It's gonna be 10:30 by the time you get to this cabin, but it's a cabin, so you could sleep there.
What do you think, Esme?
Let's go. Go to this cabin.
I'm gonna propose that we stay at a hotel somewhere near there, but we don't go straight to the cabin. We'll go to the cabin in the morning.
Okay.
So let's do that. We'll stay at a...
Why though?
Why? Because I don't want to go to some creepy cabin in the middle of the night. That's what the game wants us to do. Can't you see? I actually say that as character.
We have like pre-existing madnesses.
I have a pre-existing madness. I do have amnesia.
I think that considering the time in which to investigate this, we're only going to have tomorrow. So if anything takes a particularly long time, I'm a physician. I'm used to not sleeping anyways. So
I guess if we should go straight there. Although I figured that, I guess his family probably doesn't know about his cabin. So we would have to be worried about them
I can
showing
imagine.
up at any time after that 48-hour warning. Sure, let's just go straight to the cabin then.
Let's go get eaten by some ghosts.
He goes.
Yay, ghosts. Hungry, hungry ghosts.
As long as they're not spooky robot ghosts.
Let's go ahead and go to the cabin then.
Decatur
On Roll20.
does have a 24-hour McDonald's, so we could stop there and grab some food.
I'm fine with that.
Hey y'all, Jeremy here. Just wanted to jump in and say a quick thanks for joining us here at K-Cell. Really excited to bring this to everyone. If you like what you're hearing here, feel free to check out some of our other stuff. You can check out John's website, jonathankush.com. Check out some of his research and film essays that he has up there. Tabitha, she's got her Etsy store, Quiet Nova, over there at Etsy. And she's going to be at Comic-Con at the BJCC in Birmingham coming up this year. So go by, check out, and say hi to her. And, of course, I've got my novel up on Amazon right now. We'll have links to all of that in the episode description. So if you like what you're hearing, please just go ahead, take a look at all of that stuff. I definitely also want to do a shout out to Art Dream, the lovely people who made this game, Delta Green. They've been working on it for a long, long time, and it's one of my favorite games, so I'm happy to run some of this for my bro and my wife, and for you guys. Hope you guys enjoy hearing it. Also, our intro song, Mission Ready by Ketsa. Check them out at Ketsa at Bandcamp. Anyway, just wanted to say one more time, thanks for joining us, and I hope you enjoy what you're hearing. Talk to you later.
Clyde's cabin isn't too difficult to reach, although the last few minutes are off the road. You pull up to this cabin. It's a one-story building. It's got a shed off to the side, in front of which you heard. There is a outhouse behind the cabin. Did y'all drive here together or
Separate.
I imagine separate. I see a little car pop up. Can I choose what color my car is? I just drew my car. It's invisible.
Oh, jeez. What
See
are
all
you
these
doing?
rectangles I'm drawing?
I sure do.
I don't know how to get rid of them.
We'll just pretend that didn't happen. That's more car-like. This car is 20 feet long and 10 feet wide, but it looks right. So,
Right. But there should be two of them.
thought y'all
We
drove together.
Separate. We both said we
Why-
drove separate.
Because we don't
Okay,
trust
two
anyone.
cars.
Why don't you ever listen to your wife?
Because I was busy trying to find a car for you guys.
Sure, that's a police car, but I'm gonna ignore that.
That is a police car. Both as a doctor. Here, we'll go with this one. Right, so Tabitha, there's your car.
Solar powered and it hovers.
There's no way that car got up these country roads. All right, so I'm gonna go in the shed.
Inside the shed, you see 20 1-gallon cans of gas.
21 gallon
Yes,
can.
20 1-gallon cans of gasoline.
I want to check to see if they are full or empty.
They are all full.
It's
You
kind
said
of
it's
a lot.
21 gallon, right? So there's 21 gallons in total.
Yes, there are 20 gallons total because there are 20 cans and each can holds 1 gallon.
Right. I don't think they make 1 gallon gas cans, but we're just gonna go with it.
There are 20 cans with 1 gallon in them.
It's a puzzle. Should I be taking notes?
A shed locks behind you. You are now in an escape room. You have all of the clues.
I pull out a mat. No, I don't really. I'll leave the shed.
Esme, see if you can move that token around now. I think that I gave you control of that token. There should be a doctor standing in front of your car.
I don't see a token. My
Oh, I have
computer's
a
doing a
token.
weird thing.
As I'm trying to see whether or not
Cannot do anything to that
cannot do anything to that token. Okay, controlled by all players. Nope, that's just gonna let John troll everyone if I let him control all of the tokens.
No, I was not trying to troll people.
Uh-huh, I'm sure. Okay, so see if you can control that token now. Aha. We have a doctor and a scientist. So let's see what sort of... That is the exact same token.
Make me like a dog or something.
I'm not gonna make you a dog. You're already a dog.
I do like how as soon as I told Jeremy, like, I've got limited time left, he's like, hold on, let me take like 10 minutes to find the perfect icons for this storytelling adventure.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
You find these 20 gallons of gasoline in the shed. What do you do?
Leave the shed.
Leave the shed.
I'm going to look in the shed and pick one up. Is there anything else in this shed other than all of this gasoline?
There is basic lawn care equipment. Yeah, there's an electric weed eater. And an assortment of other tools.
I walked around behind.
Back behind the cabin, there's a little wooded area.
I'm going to continue walking down.
Eventually, as you get further down, you see a mound of dirt in the woods behind the cabin. Looks like someone's been digging a hole back here.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to come in.
Okay, you're coming in.
Yeah, I was going to come in that back entrance.
Inside the cabin, you find a body. No. So you find a pretty well-appointed cabin, but it doesn't look like anyone's been out here for at least 2 months. It's quiet and there's more than a few cobwebs.
I'm going to investigate the kitchen area that looks like I'm in.
As you're investigating the kitchen, you see a letter on the counter that should pop up for you guys now.
Right.
Hoffman's letter. Do you see it?
You want me to read it out?
Go ahead and read it.
Human may concern. If you are reading this note, I can assume I've died or become incapacitated before I had the courage to complete my final mission. You will find about 20 gallons of gas in the shed behind this cabin. Pour it into the septic tank behind the cabin and ignite it. You'd be happier if you didn't look inside. Please make sure that the remains are kept from my children. I am so sorry. God, please forgive me. Clyde Burlman.
Well, I'm definitely looking inside.
Yeah, it does look like his signature is with potentially a different pen than the rest of it. I don't really know if that matters. Probably not. Well, I found that in the kitchen, and I'm sure I mentioned to Esme what I saw outside. I'm gonna go over like the dining room, looking around in there.
You find more signs that no one's really been out here for a while.
So should we go investigate the septic tank or whatever?
Well, if you continue to investigate the cabin, eventually one of you will look under the bed and find a Vietnam era metal footlocker stowed underneath the bed.
Boy,
I want to try and open it.
Okay.
Do I die?
No, you don't die. You find a glass sphere about 3 centimeters in diameter. You also find a cardboard box inside, like Amazon size, like that standard shipping. There are several reel-to-reel tapes labeled with FBI evidence tags dated 15 August 72 all the way up to 29 September 72. You find 3 tear gas grenades. They look to be about 20 years old, and a large iron knife. It has a relatively new bone handle.
Bone.
Bone.
Human bone? Thickness of a child's hand?
Do you know anatomy?
I know anatomy.
Yeah, that's definitely a carved from a human bone.
Right there's a femur.
Oh, really? All right, well, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and film canisters out to the car.
All of this stuff needs to be removed.
Probably not a bad idea.
Then we should probably sleep, I'm guessing.
Did we investigate this yet?
There's nothing else of interest inside the cabin. Y'all are able to look it over pretty well. There is a functioning bathroom in here, which, Cindy, it definitely seems odd that there is both an outhouse and bathrooms.
Was thinking that, yeah.
Not really. Depends on when it was built.
Well, you know,
Not to get too out of character here, but like that I grew up in had both multiple bathrooms and also multiple outhouses.
I'm going to go to the outhouse, I guess.
It does not seem like it has been used for the last couple of months, but it definitely has been used. The cabin has running water. While you're inspecting the cabin, you realize that the plumbing from the cabin does not lead to the septic tank. It once did, but everything in the cabin has been disconnected from the septic tank. When you run the water, it just kind of puddles.
That's interesting.
All right. I don't know. I guess I've got to either follow his instructions and set fire to the septic tank, which is probably violate some sort of regulations, or do something else. I vote burn it.
I mean, burning it would probably be the best way to survive this day game.
Sounds like a good plan to me then.
It also wouldn't tell us what that is we're burning.
That's right. It wouldn't.
I'm gonna go look.
All right.
Look in the hole.
I'm going to stop you from looking in the hole.
At the bottom of this shallow pit, you see the hatch for a septic tank. The earth piled around it indicates that it's been exposed for years. It is uncovered, but padlocked from the outside. The handle and the hinges seem to be well oiled. There is another key on this key ring that looks like it will fit that padlock.
We have to open it anyways if we're going to pour gasoline into it. Just peek and see what's down
Sure,
there.
why not?
Probably going to eat us if we do, but I mean, that's why you play a Delta Green game.
I play Delta Green games specifically to die.
I put a little ninja icon on my character, and now I'm going to go down into unlock the thing.
You're able to unlock it. Yeah, no problems there. It unlocks perfectly fine.
And then I'm heading to go get the gasoline. And Esme, if you want to look down there, you definitely can.
I'm peering. What do my elven eyes see?
Keep in mind that it's about 11:30 in the middle of the night in these Tennessee woods. It's fairly dark, so you're looking into a pit and you can't really see a bottom to it. There was an inspection ladder, but it looks like it's been removed.
I'm going to use the flashlight function on my phone.
There is a shallow layer of water about 6 feet down. It seems to be a massive septic tank for a cabin this size. And you turn your light on, you hear something start to splash from deeper down in the tank.
Got a couple of gallons of gasoline on me, and I call it to Esme saying, "Hey, you want me to start pouring?"
Wait just a minute. Bring him over here.
Right. I head back for some more.
I have the gasoline on hand. I definitely have several boxes of matches I grabbed out of the cabin.
Mm-hmm. You hear a voice. Hello? Is someone there?
Oh, I'm gonna yell out. Is it Maddie? Is that you, Maddie?
Who's Maddie?
It's the name of his grandchild.
And Cassie?
Same difference. Dumb name.
See a glint of eyes at the bottom of the hatch.
One thing I did find kind of fun, they give you an option of like what camera you want to use if you have multiple cameras to broadcast. I got a new laptop recently and it has a IR camera on it, so I can broadcast the infrared image of my face. You want to?
That's cool.
It's real weird.